Good morning, true crime friends. Y'all didn't expect to see me today, did you? Did you? I know you did not. Hang on. Look, joyous Las Posadas to you. We celebrating all the winter holidays around here. Instead of just saying happy holidays, we are being specific. So look, I normally don't come to you on Sundays on a public video. On the weekends, I do members only. But there is so much pettiness and gossip out here in these true crime streets. I had to jump on and talk about it. Look, if you are a member in the members only space, I already made your video. Go on over there and look at your video. And then you can come back and watch this one. But if you're a regular, if you are the general public, hello and welcome. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, child. We need to get into it. We are starting this morning with Shirley Starberry, only not exactly Shirley Starberry. For the uninformed, Shirley Starberry is the co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and she married this dude, Ernesto Williams. So Ernesto, Shirley been married for like 8-9 years. Ernesto been getting arrested over and over and over again, because he's a scammer, right? He's like one of those Twitter, Tinder swindler kind of dudes where he like romances a lady and then takes all her money. And then the lady is like, oh no, help. And then he like drops her and goes on to the next lady. Only look, this dude is like the dog that caught the mail truck. He got Miss Shirley Starberry and he's like, humana. He don't know what to do with himself. Turns out Miss Starberry, she might not be that bright, because she's letting this man just do all kinds of crazies. He was not coming home at night. They have been evicted like 5 or 6 times in the last 8 years. What? I'm sorry, what? Listen, I only have to get evicted one time. I only have to have the threat of eviction one time before, number one, I take over our family finances. Number two, you might get some Drano in your coffee. I'm just saying, we hear a gossip, rumor, and innuendo. Do not advocate unaliving other people, but I'm saying you might be tempted to, season your beloved's food with some poison. Although that would be wrong, but understandable. But look, also, now that Mr. Ernesto is in jail, we have been listening to his jail phone calls over there on Phone Calls from Prison. Shout out to Phone Calls from Prison. Hey, Shay girl, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa, Happy Las Posadas. So anyway, the side chick is out here in these true crime streets doing the most, the absolute most. And so now, Mr. Ernesto, who is always like, my wife has to be driving a fancy car, paid for by other people's money. My wife and I live in this glorious mansion where we not paying the rent. The side chick is a little bit low rent, but aren't side chicks frequently low rent? Good morning, side chicks. I didn't mean to insult y'all. I'm just stating facts. So look, the side chick has started a GoFundMe to raise a little money to help her boyfriend, somebody else's husband, pay his legal fees. Because you see, Miss Shirley has had enough of his mess. And in lieu of sweetening his sweet tea with Drano, she just decided to drop him. That is an excellent idea. Shirley girl, go on, let his behind go, because he need to be let go. Here's the thing with the GoFundMe. Silly Sonia, whatever her name is, Miss Sonia Durham, has put up a GoFundMe, and she wants to raise $45,000 to help Ernesto with his legal defense. Now, this GoFundMe has been up for about a week, and it has raised the whopping sum of $10. That's enough for her to make like 1.5 jail phone calls, so it's not going good. Here's the other thing, though. With GoFundMe, you can put up a little message of support. Now, to put up a message of support, you have to pay some money. The $10 was raised by people who were willing to put up a very small amount of money to read this heifer for filth. So I was like, oh, this is the pettiest thing I have ever seen in my life. So, I let my fingers do the walking, and I have my little iPad up this morning so I can read you some of these delightful, very, very delightful messages that people have placed on Mr. Ernesto's GoFundMe. So the first message says, batten down the hatches, y'all, because this message is a mess. This is from Net and Knee. She donated $5 3 days ago, and it says, I would love to do more, but honestly, I don't trust Shirley, and I believe Nesto is guilty of the financial abuse crimes. Oh, that's not a ringing endorsement, Net and Knee. She says, and he may not be in the picture with the kids, but he definitely possessed them, which is a crime itself. This is hard. The punctuation is a little wacky, but y'all get the idea. And she says, I don't want to hear that the picture was already in the phone either. I had to send this through my fake account because I don't trust these people. Okay. Net and knee, you petty, and I'm here for it. Now, not to be outdone, another fine donator 13 hours ago donated $5 and left the following message. The header of the message, I guess this is her name, you raggedy trash bucket. I was like, oh, Petty Robble, come through. I'm here for all of this. She says, here's $5 just to read your stupid ass. Okay. She's telling us how she really feels. You allegedly slept with Shirley's husband just like a hoe, mistress, side chick, jump off. And for what? A jailbird who can't buy a cup of coffee. Girl, bye. You reap what you sow. This $5 won't buy a jail phone call to a decent attorney. Buy a brain, Team Shirley. What? The shade. The fact that somebody would part with 5 of their hard-earned dollars to read this heifer for filth is the level of petty that I personally aspire to. Although I am too cheap for that. I would not give these people 99 cents. I just would not. Because me and my money child, we in a codependent relationship. We not trying to break up. But will it read your shady messages? Oh, yes, it will. I will read every single last one of them. Also, I might later go and say, he's accused of some Pedialyte type charges, and you can't start a GoFundMe if you are accused of doing nasty things to children. He's also accused of buggery. That's doing nasty things with dogs. We learned about that from South Carolina. Hey, South Carolina, I see y'all. I hope y'all being nice to your puppies and your sheep and your kitties during the holiday season. Hang on, you know I done talked my throat dry. Let me take a sip of tea. So look, because that's not enough, there's another trifling heifer that we need to talk about, and that is none other than Miss Lindsay Shiver. You remember Lindsay Shiver? Lindsay Shiver is down there in the South, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia. It's all the same to me, right? She's down there in Georgia. I think she's out of Georgia. She plotted the unfortunate unaliving of her husband with her boyfriend. You know how you get together with your boyfriend and you plan to unalive your husband like you do, apparently, if you are Lindsay Shiver, even if you have 3 young children in the house. And this was just not a regular unaliving. This lady was flying back and forth to the Bahamas on her private jet to stay in their second home. And then she hooks up with some local dude who works at a bar, Grabber's Bar. I'm sorry, what, ma'am? Okay. And so she, number one, got arrested down there in the Bahamas, was held in Fox Prison, which apparently is one of the worst prisons out here. I don't know. I have not read the prison Yelp review on Fox Hills Prison, something like that. Y'all know I got a little amphibian this morning. Bear with me. So she had planned the unfortunate unaliving of her husband, and then the cops found out about it because apparently this ne'er-do-well boyfriend was planning to rob the bar where he worked at, and when he got arrested, they was looking through his phone and they're like, I'm sorry, sir, what are these plans? What is this hitman plan you have here on your phone? Just in regular SMS, you're not even smart enough to use WhatsApp? Okay, to prison you go. So they locked him up, and then they were like, we're going to wait for this dumb heifer from Georgia to come down here, and then we're going to arrest her too. And the heifer came down, and they arrested her too. And then her rich parents were like, have you learned your lesson? No, we will bail you out. Should you get bail? How you get bail for attempted murder? Bahamas? Y'all need to tell me something. Because if you're going to unalive somebody, you should do it in the Bahamas, because then they just let you go free. Okay. Cool. Good to know. Anyway, hang on. This throat situation is really, really messing up my broadcast career. And by broadcast, I mean just getting on the internet and talking mess and gossip about people. So anyway, Lindsay is down there in the Bahamas. She gets arrested. And then she's like, this was an unfortunate mistake. And the cops are like, right, girl. Is this your message where you said, kill him? And she's like, But you see, I'm a pretty white girl and I'm bounty and I have a cute Instagram. And so you should let me go. And they were like, yeah, that's not a thing. No, ma'am. That's not at all how that works. That's not a thing. And she was like, oh, so you're not gonna, yes, I sort of just confessed. I mean, I said, yes, that was my message, but you mean that means I can't go home? And they was like, no, heifer, no, you cannot go home. So they put her on an ankle monitor, and then she has been sitting, they let her leave the jail. They just didn't let her leave the Bahamas. She been trapped in paradise now. Word on the street is that while she's been trapped in paradise, she might have been trapped between the thighs of that boyfriend, because some folks are saying she's pregnant. She don't look pregnant to me, but you know, I'm a lady. I keep my pinkies out. You're not supposed to ask a lady if she's pregnant. But can you ask an ignorant heifer if she's pregnant? Because I don't. What is the etiquette around ignorant heifers? Somebody's going to have to let me know, because I am unclear. I did not read that in my etiquette book. You know that etiquette book I was reading, Rude Bitches Make Me Tired? That's an actual book. That is a quote. YouTube's don't come for me. It's by Celia Riverbank or something like that. You should check it out. Get that on your Kindle. Rude Bitches Make Me Tired. That's a book. Anyway. So she did not cover the etiquette around ignorant heifers. So somebody gonna need to write a book about that. Anyway, so I didn't ask her if she was pregnant, but these YouTube streets are saying that she is pregnant by the boyfriend. Meanwhile, she has 3 kids living with her husband in Georgia. Well, you know, if you arrested and on your way to jail for trying to unalive your husband, he's not gonna be that willing to let you talk to the kids on FaceTime or whatever. So before there was a big custody battle, she automatically loses because she's in another country. Her husband is there in Georgia. And the husband is dating that little girl from Keeping Up with the Chrisleys. Chrisley Knows Best. You know the Chrisleys. Those are those people down in the South where the man might be a same gender loving individual. No shade to him, but he seemed a little bit gay to me. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but if my husband was gay, I would be upset. Anyway, this dude was married to a woman, Mr. Chrisley. And they were doing all kinds of financial crimes, and they got caught on tax evasion, and now they're going to prison for a long time, like 10, 15 years, something like that. That's longer than I want to be in prison. Child, I wouldn't want to be in prison for 10, 15 minutes. So he got to go for 10 years. He's mad. Although, surrounded by all the menses, he might be enjoying himself. I don't know, but you ain't heard that from me. So anyway, the Chrisley's daughter is dating Lindsay Shiver's soon-to-be ex-husband. And little Miss Chrisley, well, she been on reality TV. And she knows how to gin up a story. And she knows how to get herself in the news. And so she's all up on all the radio shows like, I'm dating this dude and his wife tries to unalive him. Please have me on your radio show and also buy these shiny new products that I'm trying to sell. I don't know if she's trying to sell stuff, but she's all up in these streets just talking and running her mouth. And I'm like, shouldn't you be quiet? Also, I'm perched. I'm taking notes. I want to hear every single thing. Savannah Chrisley, that's her name. And apparently, whenever Court TV has like a hearing or whatever about the situation, oh, Heifer is there. Oh, she's in the comments. She has things to say. And I'm like, oh, another petty queen. Oh, we love a petty queen around here. Petty Rebel. We see you, Petty Rebel. We see you. Hang on. So, Lindsay's down there in prison. She's down in the Bahamas on community release with her ankle monitor, where she's been since like June or July. Now, Christmas time is coming, and she's like, I would really like to see my babies. And her husband is like, nah, heifer, because you tried to unalive me. Also, I do not like you. Also, you were sleeping with all them menses, several of them down in the Bahamas. So finally she goes to court and she's like, Your Honor, I would like to go home for Christmas. I would like to see my children. I think it's unfair that just because I threatened to unalive this man and plotted it with my boyfriend and his childhood friend, he's going to hold that against me. I think that's unreasonable. And the judge is like, right. So listen, let's hear from your husband and hear what he has to say. So the husband jumps on Zoom and he's like, Your Honor, that ignorant hoe tried to kill me. This is not a quote. The spirit of what he said was, that ignorant hoe tried to kill me, and so please do not let her come back. And the judge is like, right. It's kind of a pain in the neck for us to keep your ignorant hoe locked in our prisons. So we think about letting her come home. And the husband was like, okay. Can you keep her out of the entire state of Georgia? And the judge said, bet. Again, I'm summarizing. So Lindsay is coming home for Christmas and she may get to see her children, only she cannot set foot in the entire state of Georgia, and her ankle monitor tracks where she goes. Now look, people cut these ankle monitors every day, but something tells me, due to the scrutiny of this case, they're keeping a close eyeball on this heifer. So she's going to be living with her parents in Alabama. Look, her parents were upset when they heard that she was having an affair with some dude down from the Grabbers Bar. Now she has to live in the house with her parents. Miss Lindsay might have been better off in the Fox Hills prison down there in the Bahamas. Can you imagine having to look at your mom and daddy every morning over eggs and coffee or grits or whatever they eat down there in Alabama, and they looking at you like, heifer, you the reason we are in this situation? That's not going to go good. Lindsay, girl, you should have stayed in the Bahamas. If I was her, I would, please send me back to prison. But here's the thing. She can only stay in Alabama until February. So she gets like a winter break from prison. Who knew prison had winter break? Okay, it's like college? Unclear. So she's going to be back in the United States from like now-ish until February, at which time she must return to the Bahamas to prepare for her trial, which takes place in March. Apparently what I'm hearing is the standard of proof, like in the United States, we have like beyond a reasonable doubt. In the Bahamas, I think their standard is like, seems like that heifer did it. I think that's like the official qualification for can we find her guilty. So there's a real good chance she's gonna get convicted. And conspiracy to commit murder down there in the Bahamas carries the same penalty as if you had actually completed the unfortunate unaliving. So she could go to jail for life. Oh, girl, you need a plea deal. You need a plea deal worse than anybody ever seen in my life. Lindsay, girl, I know you're not watching this, but if one of your friends or family and them, somebody watching this, you take a plea, Lindsay, take a plea. Because if you blow trial, it's not going to be good. Ask Katie McBonawa. That heifer got a plea deal where she could have just gone scot-free and been out here in these streets raising her children. And where is she? She's LWOP. She got life without the possibility of parole. Lindsay, if you have one brain cell left in your head, girl, take a plea and go home, even if it's in Alabama, even if you got to live with your mom and them and raise your children for the rest of your life. She has 3 young sons. She also might have a butt in the oven, but you know, I'm too much of a lady to ask because, you know, I keep my pinkies out and everything. I'm a nice lady. I am a gossip, but you know, I gossip with my pinkies out. That means I have manners and class and decorum. So look, I'm keeping an eye out on Miss Lindsay to see what happens this Christmas. I'm keeping an eye out on Wendy Adelson. Is she going to get arrested during this holiday season? I do not know, but I'm telling you right now, if we are in the middle of the prayer over the Christmas dinner and I get a Google alert that Wendy Adelson was arrested, I will stop the proceedings and excuse myself to another room to report live on the situation. That is how pressing this situation is for me. Because, you know, breaking news does not wait. Now, I am reporting live. I used to be back in the day. I was reporting live for Court TV. Now, did Court TV ask me to report live? No, they did not. But did I let that hamper me? No, I was helping them. I was doing a community service. Now, I report live from a very own channel, and that is none other than Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. So look, all of the cases that I have covered today, each one has its very own playlist. So if you want to know everything about Shirley Starberry, child, get over on the Shirley Starberry list. If you want to know everything about Miss Lindsay Shiver, go on my page and jump on the Lindsay Shiver playlist, and you can see every video I ever made about that trifling heifer, Lindsay Shiver. And then if you need to know about the Adelsons, those Adelson jail phone calls, there is an Adelson crime family playlist. Last but certainly not least, yesterday, I stopped by my post office box and somebody sent me these little grippers, these little jar grippers, because the other day I was on live stream on the 13th juror and my son asked me to open a jar. Child was like, couldn't get the jar open. I was like, yeah, baby, go ask your brother because I can't help you. And then somebody sent me these delightful grippers. So yesterday when I had to open a jar of salsa, I went pop and popped it right off. Y'all, thank you. So Life Lessons sent me a whole pack of these. But I have to say, I tried them out yesterday and they are fantastic. I'm about to be out here just opening jars and opening jars for no good reason. All my food's gonna spoil because I'm just gonna go around opening jars. Okay, look. Y'all have a merry, merry, merry Christmas Eve. I hope you're doing something delightful or restful or whatever you want to do. Happy Las Posadas, joyous Festivus, happy Kwanzaa, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.